So anybody who watches my videos by now would know that I'm a Micro Four Thirds shooter. And one of the cameras I use, especially if I'm going to be rigging up for like narrative work, etc., is the Panasonic BGH1. Now, I don't know how well you can see it, but when you look at this camera, you can see that it was made for rigging. But the issue I have is, as much as it was sold as a tool for cinematographers, they seem to have sort of like pushed it. Like when you ask about cinematographer features, especially on like the Lumix Live, they seem to sort of like put it more in the live streaming category. Even though, if you can remember the original, the launch videos they make, it was all cinematography. It was being used on a gimbal, being used rigged up, and it seemed like when it was initially launched, yeah, it spoke about live streaming, but those features weren't pushed as much as the cinematography side of things. So one of the headline features of this camera is raw recording, and I've not got a recorder attached, and I stay away from shooting raw with this camera because of this one issue that I'm assuming could easily be fixed in firmware. So if you want to shoot raw, yeah, obviously raw recording means that you can't have any info showing on the screen. And with the BGH1, if you want to sort of like remove the information, you've got to press the function 1 button. I don't know how well you can see this, to sort of like cycle. See, you can see the info has disappeared. Cycle through the different view modes. So you'll press it once and it will show via the SDI. Press it again, it will show via the HDMI. Press it again, it will get rid of the information on either HDMI, SDI, etc., etc. Now, if like me and at this level of filmmaking, you're having to wear multiple hats, so you're gonna be the DP, director, producer, grip, etc. So there's a lot of things that you've got to remember. So if a client insisted on raw recording, obviously the only way you can record raw with this is via an external recorder. Now, when I'm sort of like in my creativity mode, the only thing I care about is what's going on in that screen, i.e. whether it's the actors, whether it's the person I'm interviewing, etc. Now, if I'm going to shoot raw, what happens is I have to sort of always jump out of my creative mode to make sure I've cycled through the different view modes before I press record. Now, I would assume that via a firmware update, if you press record, the information on the screen disappears. Even if it had like a 3-second delay or something like that. Yeah, and then when you stop record, the information comes back again. I'm quite certain that's something that could be done in firmware. But yeah, Panasonic, man, press record, get rid of information, stop record, information comes back on.